Hello Loomers, this is Chidero, and thank you for joining me for this awesome tutorial on a bracelet that was created by Looms for Kaylee on Instagram. She loomed a bracelet in honor of breast cancer awareness for all the breast cancer survivors out there, ones that lost their battle, and actually dedicated this to me and my mother, which was just so heartwarming. I can't thank her enough. So I'm honored to do this tutorial for you to show you this beautiful bracelet. This here is just a picture just to kind of show you and give you an idea on what she had done. She actually created little hearts on the borders, and in the middle on the sides are starbursts. So I have one more picture, and this isn't the bracelet, but it kind of gives you a better idea whenever I say on the sides, and you know, the shape of the hearts, as you can see. So it is absolutely phenomenal. Her account is just mind-blowing. I'll bring that up to show you. Her account is unbelievable. You really need to check out her account. She has just exquisite designs, and her color combos are phenomenal. So if you haven't already entered, it is Bling for breast cancer, and the contest runs from October 1st to October 31st. And watch my YouTube video I posted on the prizes that will be given out. So let's go ahead and grab our supplies. So your loom will need to be in a 5-pin configuration, just like this. So you're going to have a staggered configuration like that. I'm going to do this just one loom long, and the colors that I've chosen, I didn't want to choose the pink colors, as I am doing all my bracelets in pink this month, but I didn't want to take away from what Looms for Kaylee had done, so I figured today I'd like to just use different colors of purple. So I'm using all of Rainbow Loom colors. This is the deep purple opaque, the original opaque purple, and my all-time favorite Rainbow Loom band is the glitter pink. So I thought this would be a very beautiful color combination. So go ahead and grab your supplies. Now, Looms for Kaylee had sent me how to create this bracelet, so I just want to go ahead and share with you that this bracelet, let me readjust here. Oop, there we go. You can see. Okay, so this bracelet, obviously, because she had done this for the Bling for Breast Cancer contest, it does have bling in a lot of parts of it, but I didn't want to add the bling to this tutorial because I want to make sure that everybody knows that you can do this without adding the bling. So I figured it's better just to do it without it, and then, you know, just refer back to these pictures in this video so you can see where to add the bling, and I can explain as well. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and get started. Excuse me. Okay, so now that we have our loom set up in the correct configuration, I'm going to use the dark purple as the heart shapes. So we're going to start out in the middle, and we're going to place our first band from the middle peg over to the second pin bar first peg. And we're also going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So middle pin bar over to the first peg. And make sure my bands are squared away. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create that heart shape. These bands like to do a little twisty twisty. And we're going to go up one, and now we're going to take it in to the second pin bar, and we're going to take it up one more to back to the middle pin bar. Let's go ahead on our other side, and we're going to do the same exact. Bring it up one. We're going to take it in. Grab some more bands. And we're going to take it in one more time. Okay, so if you can see, it's an actual upside down heart. It's genius. Love it. So if we turn our looms around, you can see this fabulous heart design. So that is the border, and that's how we are going to loom up our border. Okay, so most designs, whenever we do a border that's going up, you know, we start at this pin here. We're actually going to start in the second pin bar, the third one up, which is the end of the heart. We're going to start right there, and we're going to take that over to the left. Okay, and then we're going to take that up one and basically do the exact same thing we just did, as we're going to take it in. Excuse me. It's my throat today. And we're going to take it in one more time. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're going to go from the second pin bar, third one up, and we're going to take that over to the right. Then we're going to take it up one, and we're going to take it back in and meet the other band in the middle. So as you can see, it just made another heart. So always different whenever we start out in the beginning, right? Any bracelet. But this bracelet, or this part of the border, it starts from the middle part of the end of the heart and that's how you create your next design as far as your border. So we're going to do that all the way up our loom. So again, you start from the second pin bar, and this time will be 5 pin bars, or 5 pins up. We'll start there, and we're going to go up one. Now we're going to take it in 2. Okay, now let's go over to our other side. And take it up another. Back in. And back in again. So, as you can see, we're just making heart borders. I think we have about 2 more to go. I think I'll start on this side because let's make sure we go in the same order for each one. So you're always going out 1, up 1, in 2. So out 1, up 1, in 2. Okay, so as this will be the last one that we make. So from the last 3 pegs here of the heart, start in the middle, go out 1, go out 1, go up 1, and then in 2. Same thing on this side, go up 1, and then in 2. Actually, we get one more heart we are going to make there. Okay, so we're going to go out 1, up 1, in 2, which this puts you at the end of your loom. So we go out 1, up 1, and then in 2. So that makes all of our border. So as you can see, again, they are all heart shaped, which is so beautiful, and they're overlapping hearts. So this is what your loom should look like, and again, it goes all the way to the end peg in the middle. So now that we have our border laid, it is time for us to lay our starbursts in the middle. So at Looms for Kaylee, she picked a couple different colors for the starbursts in the middle, and like I said, instead of using the pink, I'm going to use purple. So I'm going to use my next lighter color of purple. So excuse me, this one you're going to be changing up colors because the way that she has it designed is the outside is going to be if you like, I mean, obviously you can make it any color you want, but the outside is going to be this, maybe a lighter color of your border. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a starburst design, but the band placement is a little bit different than the normal starburst. So we're going to go in from the 4th pin bar over, 2nd pin up, and we're going to lay that band over to the right to the 2nd pin on the last pin bar, and then we're going to go back to the same pin in the center, and we're going to lay our band down one more pin, and we're going to go in a counterclockwise order. So our next one will go straight up. Now what we want to do is we want to change up our color, and because we want in the middle, we want this to be just a lighter color if you prefer. If that's your preference as well, I'm going to use this glitter pink, and that will be the next color that I lay in the starburst configuration. So we're going to take another glitter pink, and we're going to place that one towards the middle. And to complete the starburst, we'll take one more and place it up. So as you can see, there's your starburst. So half of it is one color, half of it is another, and that way everyone in the middle is going to be a lighter color. So in order to start this on, we're going to make 2 starbursts inside 1 heart. We're going to go ahead and lay our next band going from this middle pin bar 2nd peg over to the middle of the heart on the left side. After we place that one, we're going to go ahead and place a, oops, I forgot to place one more band, I'm sorry. Before we place this one, we want to place a band right here. Okay, so you have your starburst, and then you have the band that's coming down into the center. Now, after you place this band, we're just going to go straight down, and we're going to place this glitter pink band to start the starburst over here. And then we're going to add another glitter light color band right there in the middle. And now, just like this side, we're going to start back with this color that's on the outside of our starburst and place that one going down. Go back into the center, place that one to the left peg, and then we're going to take it up, place that to the peg over here. Okay, so now that we have our whole border laid, and with our loom facing away from us, the pins, the open part, it creates our hearts to be upside down as we're placing the bands. So I know I said I wasn't going to use any charms, but I felt I kind of need to, and I know you just want to loom this up and get it done, but I just want to share a quick story with you. I'm going to use these butterfly charms because of, one, it's for Loom for Kaylee, and she's very special to me because she took the time to make this bracelet. So I'm going to share my story as I'm going to loom. If you want to place a charm in the middle of your hearts, because our next sequence to this bracelet, our next step is to add a single chain going all the way up the center of the hearts. Make sure that if you do have a design charm like this, that you place it upside down. And that's how it's going to go on the loom, because again, our hearts are upside down as we're placing bands. So when we go to loom our bands, we have to turn it around, and that will place our butterflies right side up. So I'm just going to place a charm band and then a regular band, a charm band, a regular band. So my story with my butterflies is before my mother passed away of breast cancer and she was in a coma, I asked her to please send me a sign to let me know that she would be okay after she passed. My favorite is butterflies, so I did ask, you know, specifically, I said, you know, can you please send me a butterfly? I don't care if it's in paper, I don't care if it's real, if it's in a book, anything. If I see a butterfly, just let me know that that's your way of showing me that you're okay. And she was in a coma, so she didn't respond or anything. I never told a soul that for 1 year, because I really wanted to see, you know, how strong is my faith, and to see if it was actually going to, you know, happen. So it was a couple months had passed after she had passed away, and, you know, I kind of was upset I wasn't seeing butterflies. So I was a project manager for a large corporation, and one day I was sitting outside and a purple butterfly came and almost landed on my knee. And it was just like one of those moments, like, you know, you get goosebumps, you're like, oh my gosh. And you're not scared, you're not anything. It's just like, wow, did this just happen? And I had the biggest smile, because that was the first thing I thought of. She's saying, you know, hey Christy, it's Mom, I'm okay now. And ever since, I had gotten so many different things, and like I said, nobody knew about it. So my next sign was for Mother's Day. My mother-in-law sent me a card, and on that card were purple butterflies. She had no idea. Nobody had any idea. So to me, that was my mother's way of saying Happy Mother's Day. But it was just enough, and it's just enough for just something that I used to help me cope with, you know, her passing, because I was 34, 33 whenever she passed away. And I know there's no age to death. You know, you could be 30 or you could be 50. Losing a parent is just very devastating. But I have just gotten, I still to this day, it'll be 3 years in December, and I still get signs from her. It's amazing. So I just wanted to share that story with you, and that's probably one of the most precious stories that I have. And you know, I feel so much love for Loom for Kaylee, because she did this, that's why I wanted to add my special touch to her design, just to let her know that, you know, that's how special. So that's why I'm doing this bracelet in purple, and that's why I'm adding these charms. So if you were watching me while I was blabbing, we put all of these butterfly charms on. And again, if you use charms, and if they are one-sided charms, and because, you know, we're placing bands with the charms upside down, when we turn our loom around, our butterfly is in the middle, and it is facing the correct way of this heart. So let's go ahead and start with our next step. Our next step will be to place our starburst. So you want to make sure all of your bands are placed or pushed down. And we're going to start on the right side of this heart. We're going to make 2 starbursts to fill up the insides of the heart. So we're going to start out with the lighter color purple. So this is the middle peg of the heart. We're going to go over to the right. We're going to go from that middle peg again down to the right, and then middle peg straight down. So that is that part of the starburst. Now we're going to change over, because every one of our starbursts that go up in the middle, Looms for Kaylee had designed it where it's a lighter color in the middle. So we're going to add this color, which is, I'm using the sparkle, the glitter pink. Go to the middle peg and one more up. I'm sorry, up here. There we go. So as you can see, that makes an entire starburst. So we have one last step to this starburst, is we need to place a band going from the middle of the heart over, and that will kind of close off our starburst on the right side. So that band, when we place that one, that's our cue to start our next starburst on the left, because we're going to start with the middle of the starburst and place the bands the opposite way. So we're placing a glitter band, glitter pink or lighter color. We're going to go over, and don't worry, it's going to cover your charm in there, but when we flip it over, when we're all done looming, you'll see it. So we're going to go back to our lighter color purple and complete our starburst the same manner. Going to go into a clockwise position this time, and this band here is going to be the lighter color, and then to close it off like we did on this one, bring that one there. So as you can see, we have the light purple on the outsides of both, and then we have the lightest of the 3 colors, which I used the glitter on the inside. Okay, so our next step is to replicate what we've just done, and we're going to add. Okay, so now we're going to add our starbursts. We're going to add 2 starbursts. As you can see, if you cut the heart in half, there's going to be a starburst on this side and a starburst over here. We're going to loom them both in a different direction. You'll see what I mean here. We're going to start on this side of the heart, and we're going to loom it in a counterclockwise manner. We're going to start with the middle peg and go out to the right, and go down 1 out to the right, take our band and go down. Now in this design, we want the middle bands, which you can change, it's your preference, but as Loom for Kaylee did it, she made it a lighter color in the middle, so that's what I'm going to do as well. I'm going to continue the starburst with a glitter pink. So I'm just placing these 2 bands right here in glitter pink, then I'm going to go back to the lighter purple and finish off the starburst. So it's a typical starburst that you're going to go all the way around. All we did differently is we changed the 2 colors. We changed the color here with a lighter color, finished it off with the same color we used on the outside. So to finish off this starburst, we're going to take a band and we're going to place it from here down to the middle of the heart. Okay, and that finishes off that design, and that's what's going to connect it over to this other starburst. So once you place that band, that is your cue to where you're going to start your second starburst. So we're going to start in the middle of this one, which is the opposite of the last. So place that band there, which is your lighter color, and then go ahead and go over to the right, which is to the center peg. So we are done with our lighter color, and this kind of makes a diamond shape in the middle. We're going to go back to our border color of our starburst and continue the pattern, but this time we're just putting our starburst on in a clockwise direction. And we're going to go ahead and take that one band that we used on this side to close it off. We're going to close it off over here as well. So that concludes our first heart with 2 starbursts on each side. And again, once it's all done, you can see why it's being, the bands are being placed that way. So again, you have half of the starburst is done in one color, and you have just the middle part that's done in a lighter color. So we did replicate the same design, so we have all of one color on the outside of the starburst with just the 2 exceptions. You must place these bands the way that I'm showing you in order for it to loom correctly. Okay, so let's move on to our second heart, and we're just going to do the exact same thing. And if you're using charms, it's okay that these bands are going to cover it, because we can maneuver the charm around. And plus, when we take this off our loom, we're going to have the design on the opposite side. So don't worry about that. Okay, so let's start out. And in my case, I'm using purple. So I go from the right part of my heart into the center. I'm going to take that band out. And I'm going to go down to the right. Down once more, all meeting into the center of that right side of the heart. Now we're going to go back over and we're going to place our lighter color band, just 2 of them, and that will conclude the center part of the starburst being lighter. Go back to your outer starburst color, and that makes the entire starburst. Now we're going to close this off right here with this lighter color. And again, that band, when you place it, that's your cue that this is where we're starting with our starburst on the left. So we go ahead with that pin, place our lighter color band over to the center of the other side of our heart. And this time we're looming in the opposite direction of that one in a clockwise position, just taking it from that center and looming it outwards. And again, to close off this starburst, we're going to do like we did right here and place a band to close that part of this starburst off. So I think we're going to be pretty okay with band placement. I'm going to go ahead and continue placing them with you. I'm just not going to be as detailed, as if you need further assistance, you can always go back and rewind. I think this one here is what always got me, is remembering to go back to the original, color of the starburst with that one. And this band here. It's a very simple design once you get started with it. I think that's the cool thing about looming bracelets, is that most of the time, it's really like the same. It's repetitious. So you get the first 2 times, when you're going up the bracelet, you've got it. And, as with any bracelet, colors are really what makes a great bracelet even better sometimes. Color combos can really make a big difference. So, again, I'm just saying purple, lighter purple, darker purple, but obviously you use any color of your choice. Oops, we're going to start out with our lighter color because that is our guide. And I have such a profound respect for designers. Oops. I'm not a designer. I'm a blinger. I feed off of designers. I love designers because they are what I need to bling. I always give designers a ton of credit because I can't design. I mean, I've come up with a couple, but nothing like this. It's just amazing. Just, you know, just the different ideas and how people come up. You guys come up with these designs. It's phenomenal. I have a lot of respect. Okay, so we close this one off, and that's our cue. That we go back, start on this side. And there are a ton of opportunities to add bling. That's another great thing about this bracelet, is that you're not limited as to where, you know, you could add bling on these bands and have like a really nice circle, almost like a flower shape of bling. Or like Loom for Kaylee did, is she just added the borders. She added bling and then she added bling on the chain going up. So many possibilities. Okay, so on my last one, I think this is going to come out really pretty in all the purple. I hope so, because I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. Okay, and our last band is the placement to close off that part of the starburst. Okay, so we are done laying all of our starbursts. I think it looks gorgeous already, and it's not even completed. And again, like you can see, the heart shape. I think that is, oh, it's so cool, it's so cool. Okay, so our last step is to add our cap bands. I think my cap bands I'm going to add is going to be the same color that I used in the middle. So I'm going to add glitter pink. So you're going to add a cap band on each starburst, which there's 2 inside of each heart. So right in the center of the heart, on the left and the right, I'm going to add a cap band. Go up, so it would be up from this peg here. We're going to skip 1 peg and then go to the next. So you're always just skipping a peg and doing every other one. I'm doing mine together, so I just complete a heart at the same time. So I'm going to skip 1. 1 there. So we skip 1. And if capping bands, I'm sorry, it's so easy to just add these bands. Capping bands is just simply just taking a band and twisting it into a figure 8, folding it back upon itself. Let's try that again. A figure 8, or I take my fingers inside and I twist it and you put it back on your finger, so it's just doubling the band. So you're going to grab the 2, oops, and that's how we make cap bands, and we place them on top. and that cap band is what helps us loom without these bands falling off. The way I typically do it is I just place the band on here, I twist it, and then I just smooth it around with my finger. You can also put them on with a hook. Okay, there goes all of our capping bands. So again, we're just putting cap bands in the middle of our starbursts. So this is what your loom should look like. We are now completed with the placement of the bands. So here comes the fun part. We get to flip it over, and I don't know about you, but when I flip it over, I'm already smiling because it's a heart. You know, you can see this whole heart here. So it's pretty cool. So first things first, we are going to start in the middle of the starburst, and that's how we're going to loom this. So let's start on the left side here, or we'll start on the right side. Okay, so we're going to go up second peg where our capping band is, and we're just going to loom it in the order of the bands on the peg. So the first band underneath this capping band, you may want to hold down your capping band, it doesn't come off, is this one that's coming down here. The next band in order, if we put the bands on counterclockwise or clockwise, then it will be the opposite of the looping. So if they'll all be in order, any way you put the bands on is how it's going to be loomed out. Okay, so that one concludes our first starburst there. Now let's go over to the left, and we're going to do the same thing. Go inside that cap band, and you're going to loom in order, which it's not going to be the same as the right side that we did because we placed the bands in the opposite manner. So we're going to be going counterclockwise with just pulling off every single band that is on top next. Making the teardrop shape is always your best indicator, knowing. See, none of these bands are overlapping. Each one is in place neatly, and you know you've done your job right. So our next step is that we need to take these two bands, this band here, and we need to close this off and loom those next. So we're going to reach inside the second peg under the cap band, and we're going to grab the first one on top, and we're going to loom it down. Do the same thing here. I want to make sure I'm grabbing it in the correct order. Make sure that your bands are not overlapping. There we go. That one comes down there. Go ahead and push these down because you're going to loop your border after that. So that actually closes off this whole entire area of the bracelet. So now we're going to go up to our second starburst, and we're going to start here on the right, and we're going to reach in the cap band and just do the same thing and just reach in, and whichever one's on top, that's the one we're going to loom out. It's pretty simple. I think a lot of us have done a gabillion bracelets with the starburst design. Okay, so that one's finished. Now we're going to go over to the left, reach in that cap band, This one here, because we're looming it back down, always watch your cap band doesn't fall off. Push that down. Go back in. Okay, I forgot to place a band right there. So that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this band. I'm going to stick my hook up inside here and put this band down in. So it's under. Then I'm going to place it on top just like that. So no biggie, because all I have to do now is just stick my hook in and place it over to the left. I'm not human. I make a ton of mistakes. Okay, so that concludes the left side of that starburst there. Now don't forget, these are crucial because this is what helps bring all of this together. Is we're going to reach down into this peg underneath the cap band, grab the band on top and bring it back down, reach back in and bring that band down to itself. Push those down. So I think you guys have the concept here. If you don't, feel free to rewind, but I'm going to go ahead and just loom this up just a little bit quicker. I always hold my loom in my hand to my face and then I can loom like a pro. But when I'm on camera, which I'm going to take this off, this is on a stand, so you can, it would be higher and it's a little bit difficult. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to be able to loom it a little bit faster. Always crucial to remember to go back and grab these ones down here or your bracelet will fall apart. Okay, we got 2 more left to go. Definitely a great blinger bracelet. Lots of possibilities, which I will throw another one of these bracelets out once I am finished with a few more tutorials I need to do. I'm going to redo this another bracelet like this and add some more bling to it. Okay, this will be our last starburst. Okay, so now that we have all of our starbursts loomed, our next step is to go ahead and loom that single chain up the middle. So this one doesn't have a cap band, so we're just going to carefully place it on the peg above and reach down in, grab the bottom band, because our bottom band is the center chain band in the beginning here. Now, when you come to the meeting of the heart, you're not going to grab the bottom band, you're going to grab right above it, which is the band that we placed for our single chain. So if you grab it and it makes the teardrop, you know you've got the right band. If you're grabbing too far down, you might be grabbing the perimeter, so be careful with that. And our last one goes to the center. Okay, so now we're going to loop our perimeter bands, and it's a little bit different than a normal perimeter. I did add a cap band right here. I don't believe I mentioned so earlier, so if you haven't, please do so. So you go inside your cap band, and we're going to grab the top band, and we're going to loop that over to itself. And we're going to continue, grab the bottom band, and loop that over the bottom band, loop it to itself. Now the bottom band, and loop that to this peg right here. So that's where we're going to stop. We're going to come back down, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the right side, grabbing the bottom band and looping that all the way around. My battery light is blinking, so I'm trying to ensure I can get this in. So this is the part that we need to pay attention to. When we're looping, we're going to stop right at these two pegs, okay? So we started down here, we looped all the way around. Typically in some designs we would loop all the way to here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to actually start our we're going to start our next heart right here. So stop the perimeter band for the first heart and go down into this center band and grab the perimeter band. So you have two. So the second to the last one, whichever one's on top, in my case it's this one over to the right, Then go ahead and grab the bottom band in that peg, and this is what starts the next heart, and this is what pulls all of this heart together. So we're going to go ahead and we will loom up the rest of this perimeter, and remember, stop here. And a good way to remember is, you see the cross bands there? That's a good indicator on where to stop. So go back down into the bottom here and loom the bottom bands all the way up around. We're going to stop there. Now we're going to go back into this middle peg here and start our next heart, which the top band brings me to the left. And the bottom band in this one goes over, and that closes up this part of the last heart. And we're just looping the rest of this border of the heart, stopping right there, going back down to the center. And stopping right here. Now going back down into the center, as you can see these cross bands here, and that's where we're going to begin our second heart, or our next heart, thus closing up the last in this pin here. So we stop, come back down, we're going to stop there, go into this middle peg, grab the top band because there's going to be two, and the rest of them are just the bottom bands. Back down. My camera light is so blinking. Gosh. Did I grab the wrong band here? Let me just verify. So let me put that back on, and I'm going to twist it around just to make sure. Oh. Okay, so I'm just going to stick my hook down in here and grab that band, bring it up through the center, and hook that over here. Okay, stop there, back into the middle. So, if my camera goes out, just continue looping up your border band. Okay, so now we are going to do the opposite. Oops, I've got one more over here. We're going to do the opposite. Technically we were going out. Now we're just going to take these two and bring them in. So all of our bands are going to meet onto the same peg. That one there. And bring this one back down to the center. So there we have it. All of our bands are loomed. This is what your loom should look like. So you have two starbursts inside of a heart. So we're going to go ahead and take our perimeter band color, and we're going to put that, take our hook, stick it down to the center of all of those bands, place our single band on the tip, and we're going to pull that all the way up through so we are capturing every one of the bands on the hook. Place it upon itself back onto the hook, push it up pretty far, and I'm going to leave that one there because I am going to take another hook and I'm going to carefully release all the sides. It's just something that I love to do because we put a lot of work and effort into putting the bands on and then looming them correctly. So I like to take it off in a careful manner. Just me. I don't want to rip any bands. And plus it does help keep it into a neater, it's not pulling any, sometimes when you pull it off the loom, it's giving you a bit of a stretch. See, like I left that one out and it's stretched. Okay, so you can even go as far as taking the whole thing off the loom, which would just be reaching down into these center pegs here. But I'm just going to take these two off up here, and I think we might be safe just to take it, carefully reach up, and as I'm going down the bracelet, I'm going down with my hand closer to the pegs that have the bands on them, and I'm just going to carefully pull it off in that manner. I'm not a ripper, and just pray to goodness gracious that we got every band. So here is our finished Hearts for Hope bracelet from Loom for Kaylee. I'm gonna try not to cry. I'm speechless. I am totally speechless. I did not loom this bracelet yet until I made this tutorial. I watched the technique that Loom for Kaylee had sent me, and I wanted to wait until I did the tutorial to loom it for the first time and loom it with you. I thought it would have been a little bit more special. I am blown away on this bracelet. So if you listen to my story while we were looming, as you can only imagine how much more special this bracelet is to me because, of the butterfly and purple. And because I didn't plan this, I just didn't want to do the bracelet in pink and take away from Loom for Kaylee's pink Hearts for Hope, I'm sorry, design for the Bling for breast cancer. I just wanted to pick different colors, and it just seems that it just came out, just at the perfect time for breast cancer and for my mom and for what the butterflies stand for. So if you turn it around without the charms, they are perfect shaped hearts. This is my favorite bracelet now. I've never seen a bracelet that's, it's perfect. So once again, as I try not to cry, I thank you, Loom for Kaylee, for coming up with such a beautiful design and dedicating it to my mom, and with the butterflies on it, which was such a special thing that my mom and I still share. I thought I couldn't think of a better person to share the butterfly story with and to add to a bracelet. So thank you so much, and thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and please visit Loom for Kaylee's account. She's a beautiful designer, and as you can see, such a wonderful, warm-hearted person. And I hope you enjoyed creating this as much as I did. So until next time, let's bling it.